So it looks like we are just a day away until Genshin Impact 5.7, which is a very big day whenever it comes to the voice actor strikes and the whole situation that has been going on, and it could honestly be the end if a lot of the kind of stuff that has come out about some of the voice actors turns out to be true. Now, obviously, if you guys don't know, I talked about it in my last video and you guys can go watch that, but essentially, Paimon's voice actor is now rumored to have a new EN voice coming out on version 5.7, which is very exciting for a lot of people, obviously, due to the amount that Paimon's voice actor has been kind of spitting and throwing stuff around over on Twitter and just generally annoying the overall audience, which has been absolutely terrible for the game's PR and just terrible for their PR as well, as, you know, I feel like no one is going to want to hire them anymore, especially after doing that kind of stuff. Now, obviously, yeah, it seems like, you know, Genshin Impact have finally bit the bullet and actually decided to replace them, and obviously, it seems amazing. The new voice actor seems to fit in very well, and we already listened to the clip of that. But it seems like we have some more kind of updates on this situation and some reactions from some of the players, which I wanted to kind of go through because obviously, we also talked about the fact that Aether's voice actor is also returning and saying that they are coming back and doing some filming. Obviously, due to the fact of, you know, Aether doesn't really speak that much in the quest and things like that. So, you know, it's not really the biggest of deals. But also, we've got other, you know, voice actors as well. For example, like Sarah Miller-Cruz, who actually voices Lumine, the other, obviously, traveler, who's saying that, you know, she is going to be back as well. And she's excited to be back in Teyvat soon. Which, obviously, yeah, it seems like a lot of these voice actors are now coming back, especially after Kayli Mills and Corina Boettger have left, which again is very, very interesting because it seems like once they kind of cut the head off of the kind of big dragon or whatever you want to call it, everyone has just started, you know, flooding back to the game. We've got other people as well. For example, this person, Molly Zhang, saying, "So happy to officially announce that I'm the voice of Astra Yao in Zelda Zone Zero." And this is happening everywhere with all Hoyoverse games. Now, I don't know if this is due to the fact of the actual SAG-AFTRA strike, and maybe they weren't talking about their roles due to the fact of them being involved in another kind of project, and it just felt a little bit wrong to be announcing this kind of stuff, or if it was a fact of, you know, with the kind of fake voice actor strike, the refusal to work, and now they don't have that pressure, they can now announce the fact that they, you know, are in the game. And it seems to be happening quite a bit. It's not just Astra Yao, by the way. It's so many other voice actors and so many other things have been coming out recently of these voice actors being like, "Hey, I voiced this character, by the way, and this character came out like, you know, months and months ago." And it's crazy to see that, you know, they're only announcing it now due to the strikes. And, you know, we finally have an idea on who the voice actors are. And it's probably been pretty terrible for some of these people who have had to hold it in for all of this time, saying, like, you know, not being able to say that they are the voice of this character due to some stupid kind of reasons. Obviously, yeah, people saying, "Officially, congratulations, you are amazing." So Weitu and Evelyn, this wasn't official yet, which obviously, yeah, it was due to things being held back. You know, people saying technically official, but not official until now. So technically it wasn't official, but not official. We know because she was sponsored by Hoya and given the thumbs up to say that she's the EMVA, but not an official announcement like this. So congrats, I just pulled her during a rerun. So again, people are very happy at the fact that, you know, people are announcing their kind of involvement in some of these games, because again, they haven't been able to in the past. And that seems to be what we are getting at the moment, is a flood of these voice actors coming in. Even like people voicing NPC characters are also mentioning the fact that they voiced them. And it's kind of sad to see that they have, you know, been held back all of this time due to the fact of, you know, these strikes, due to the fact of these voice actors pressuring them to not be able to, you know, do anything like this. And it's kind of crazy, the mentality that some people have in the space. And, you know, we've talked about Corina, we've talked about Kayli so many times of their kind of tirade of attacking people over on Twitter and over on Blue Sky and over on all of these places, because again, they have been, and it's been very obvious. And I don't know whether these people got fired due to the fact of, you know, them doing that online, or whether it was just due to the refusal to work. I'm not sure. But it's going to be very interesting if they do ever release a kind of just reason why, or maybe Corina or Kayli speaks up about it, because yeah, we don't really know exactly. Now, let's just quickly go through some of the comments as well that have been going down here, because there's been some new comments obviously coming out as the day has gone on. This has got 4.3 million views, by the way. This has been a very, very hot topic in terms of the voice actor kind of space, and in terms of the Genshin Impact space, because again, even my video on it did very, very good. And essentially saying, is it just me, or does it sound like Diona's VA? That's my bet, but who it is, but it's probably someone entirely new. Someone said please no, which again, I think there's going to be a lot of people that say please no, and I said this in my last video. People aren't going to like the new voice actor for Paimon. Obviously, yeah, here's a quick listen if you guys didn't hear it. Here we go.
Paimon heard that dreams tell us what we need by showing us the opposite. So, if you had a nightmare, maybe all you need is something to cheer you up.
Now, obviously, some people don't like it, and I think that's totally fine. But also, I think it is important to remember it is Paimon. They're not just going to suddenly turn her into some, like, low-voiced character, which is completely different from the original. They're going to get someone that's close to the original, but maybe sounds a little bit better. I feel like it's less squeaky and less annoying, which I think is much more tolerable. But yeah, people saying I was going to ask for the name of the VA, but now I prefer her name stays hidden. Don't want her to be bullied, which is definitely true. You know, this is something I brought up in my last video as well. It's the fact that, you know, I think some of these voice actors are now going to be scared to announce this kind of stuff, especially with, you know, Molly here announcing Astra Yao and some other things, that they might get attacked by some of these other voice actors for just literally voicing a character. And especially whenever it comes to Paimon's new voice actor, because obviously, if you remember back whenever all of this kind of kicked off and the Jacob Takanashi stuff happened, essentially what Paimon's voice actor was doing, what Corina was doing, was attacking the Kinich voice actor for replacing the old Kinich voice actor. So is she now going to attack the new Paimon voice actor for attacking her, the old Paimon voice actor? I don't know, but it's going to be very interesting to see if she does actually say anything about that, because again, they've been pretty silent over on Blue Sky, and as I said, I don't really know why that is, whether that's just because they have been fired, I'm not sure, but hey, you know, we don't know. It said, you know, obviously people say the new voice is bearable. She kind of reminds me of Noelle's voice. Yeah, I don't think it's like the best voice, but also it's much more bearable than the previous voice. People saying, whoa, revolution. It said he ain't do nothing but step back, which, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Celebrating Paimon's recast, knowing that we still can't skip the hours of pointless dialogue. Yeah, I mean, it still doesn't change the fact of the, you know, some of the game mechanics still aren't great in Genshin Impact, and Genshin Impact still isn't doing great as a game. But I think, you know, one of the main story parts where it thrives is, you know, a lot of the voice acting, and obviously it's been without that for quite a while. People saying, yes, way better than Screeching Nightmare from before. I already love her. The new VA after finishing all of the lines, you know. So again, people are saying that, yeah, they're going to be making a lot of money from this, which definitely is true. Obviously, there's a lot of voice lines to go over. People say, hold on to this, is so close to Paimon's 1.0 voice. Literally perfect. Just listen to it. Oh my god, bro. Okay, they've got the mod on. Say another voice of a 6-year-old, great. I mean, again, I don't know what they expected. There's 69 replies to this, by the way. They said, yeah, well, look at the character they decide. What did you expect? Morgan Freeman, Christopher Judge, which again, yeah, Pro expected that to sound like Shaq all of a sudden, which is definitely true. You know, there's definitely some kind of elements to that, where she can't just like all of a sudden just sound like this low voiced character. You know, it's always going to sound like Paimon, just maybe just a little bit more bearable. But yeah, that's essentially all the news we got on it, and the a lot of the reactions from people in the chats, as well as, you know, some other voice actors that have been announcing the fact that they're back. And it seems like we're going to get even more and even more as it goes on throughout the day and through some other days as well, which I think it's great, and you know, hopefully we can see even more returning. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code KAZE, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. I definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.